What's up, guys? Doing car shop 1 down solo stealth, and ICTV 75 detection, saws only, blah 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 blah. You know the works. I'm going to start by going over to the right hand side of the map as opposed to the left hand side. I usually find it a little bit easier to get in from the right hand side as opposed to the left. Considering that if we want to get to an upstairs section pretty easily, we do have an immediate access on the right hand side, whereas on the left hand side we'll have to kind of work our way across the hall a bit first. Actually, on this run, if you notice, I'm walking without moving my camera. I am doing that on purpose because I was texting while I was playing. Alright. Door was open for me. That means the cam was going to spawn. That was alright. Really doesn't make much of a difference whether the door is open or closed. I didn't see the couple spawn as I was walking down the street, and the manager's likewise not there on the couch, so the two absolutely worst spawns are no longer available, which is pretty nice. So I just needed to find out where the manager was, meaning he was either in the meeting room, he was with that gentleman, which he was, or he was in the copy room, or I believe he could be roaming around as well, but roaming around is very rarely an option. The couple didn't spawn, so thankfully I was able to jump down into and pick open the meeting room without them detecting me. That was a frequent annoyance that happened. There's also a guard in the room with the manager, so I had to be careful of that. Forgot I couldn't hide behind the chairs, so I had to kind of move down the room a little bit just to make sure that this guy wasn't going to see me. Or, so he hopefully wouldn't see me, I should say. But he and the guard both ended up leaving, giving me ample time to go ahead and tie down these two.
Down.
And then a guard walked in. And then another person saw him. So I was pretty sure the run was dead right here, but I decided to keep pushing it anyway just to see if it would work. And clearly, as you can tell by the video's runtime, I do manage to contain this little situation here.
Sorry. What, I thought...
Somehow this lady on the couch wasn't noticing anything, to my amazement.
Look out. Guard. 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 Careful.
Of course, thankfully that guard went into the kitchen, but I didn't notice the safe right behind him until it was too late. So then I had to tie her down and lead her back into this office.
Stay!
Hey, he dropped a key card. Not for the storage room. That would be too easy. Head to his office.
Civs tend to be really uncooperative on this map when it comes to pathing where I would like them to path so I can put them in desired locations.
Follow me.
There aren't really that many good spots to put civilians without clipping their heads through walls to kind of cheese the game, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And I didn't bring extra body bags with me. I only brought my ECMs, and I brought my ammo bag because of course I only bring one stealth deployable on these ICTV runs to kind of limit myself, not have too much of an easy time with it.
Come with me.
So I managed to get her head stuck in the wall, his head stuck in the cabinet, and the manager really wasn't wanting to follow me into any sort of suitable location.
Stay down. Follow me.
Of course, all this time I was hoping that a guard wouldn't just waltz in and see everything that was
me.
conspiring.
Follow me.
Like I said, he was being extremely uncooperative and just wasn't wanting to go anywhere or do anything. I managed to get him worked into a little position though. Took note that the key thing was downstairs when I was passing by that room earlier. Of course, trying to be super careful so I didn't get detected. After all the work I had put into salvaging this run.
Guard. Watch out. Guard.
They recently hired
Caught the
a MUI
name really
guy.
quickly, sprinted back over.
His computer. I should be able to get the door open.
I actually wanted this person to be
This guy is.
downstairs, usually because I find the downstairs area a little bit easier to deal with. However, it was upstairs, forcing me to deal with
I'm in. Just give me a minute.
guards most likely coming in and seeing the computer, which I really didn't want to happen, but I was prepared to happen. Thankfully, this guard stopped just at the threshold for seeing the computer. However, I was super on edge while all this was going on. Of course, he wasn't seeing any of the civilians, which means that they were well hidden. But then this guy snuck up on me, and then that guard saw me.
Put him up.
And I was pretty sure we were done here. I don't know why he didn't instantly react. He just kind of froze in place for a minute there, so some weird AI stuff. Went ahead and decided to kill that guy, because I knew he was going to be seeing something here in just a second anyway.
Must be someone else on the channel.
So, down to my last pager, just barely managed to catch this one before it turned off.
Almost there, guys.
Of course, I didn't have any body bags at this point because I had used my only 2 earlier. So, got pretty lucky right there. So I decided to go ahead and head out to the C4 since the computer hack was going to be done, and if it got done quickly enough and I could plant the C4 quickly enough, I'd have enough time to cover everything with ECMs so that I could escape. This is going to parkour down, but this guard came along and decided to eat up a little bit of my time.
I'm in. Need some time to open that lock. Instead of sitting there scratching your ass, head out to the van and get some C4. Time to prepare your escape.
Guard. Guard. Careful.
Thankfully he left though, allowing me to do my ultimate parkour. Of course, at this point I was just trying to be as fast as possible because I knew I should have ample time to do everything that I needed to. Thankfully there was no detection from that question mark right there, giving me a little bit more time.
On the ground.
At that point nobody had seen the sieve yet, so still just had my backup plan ready. So at this point I definitely wasn't worried. What I was most worried about is a guard somehow seeing me and then shooting the glass and setting the alarm off instantly. However, that didn't happen. I decided not to run through the middle area because I didn't want to risk getting downed, and I also didn't want to risk the glass being shot. So I went over here to the side door so that I could pick it open and then run to the keys pretty swiftly.
Now jump into the car. Oh, and keep your head down. It's time to blow this
So I
joint.
take the sick nasty red car and peel out.
Okay, now drive. Go, go, go.
So, for most of this heist, it was really just kind of, I don't know, more RNG related things, just hoping the manager was in a pretty accessible position, and then hoping guard pathings and civilian pathings, particularly like hostage pathings for civs, wasn't complete garbage, which they usually tended to be, which is how more often than not I would get detected trying to do this little stealth challenge. But once you get to the point where you're able to cover either the last part of the computer and the C4 with using an ECM, then it's pretty easy. It's just getting to that point. Sometimes be a little difficult.
Alright, just park the car in that container and walk away. Time to bounce, gang.
That's all there was to it.
Outstanding work. These sweet motors will be in the hands of Arabian sheikhs.
Alright, so that was Car Shop Solo Stealth with all the crazy stealth things tacked on. And thank you guys so much for watching.